across the side of his head.
He fixed me. He can fix you too.
The procedure flashed up as the doctor pulled out a scalpel, the sharp glint complementing his pearly white teeth before he dashed forward, slashing at Demi's gray eye, puncturing it and taking it back to their side, devouring it, recovering their lost health while Demi's dropped to the minimum.
One eye looks to the past. One eye to the future. You cannot see the forest through the trees, Demi. Why bother looking for what happened to you? It's in the past. Let's keep it there. Let's keep it with me.
Bad medicine activated, and Demi pulled a syringe from their pocket, filled with a strange liquid. Lunging forward, they placed it into the doctor's scar and pushed on the plunger with bad intentions. The battle stopped, and the doctor stood in place, shuddering for a moment, a pulsing in their skull.
The truth isn't what you think it is.
They gurgled before their head popped like a watermelon, blue and red chunks raining down on the lab as the lights went out one by one. The higher voice remarked, almost lamenting.
Your responses thus far have been recorded. Would you like to search for supplies? Yes. No.
Why? I figured it was a waste not to try and upgrade. You never know what the next battle could bring. Demi, clutching their eye, walked forward to their remains and rummaged for supplies.
You gained an eye patch, a Good Doctor pick-me-up medicine, a black scalpel, and a strange fragment. It is a piece of something bigger. 1 eye patch. 1 Good Doctor pick-me-up medicine. 1 black scalpel. 1 strange fragment.
The narrator comments on the nature of the strange fragment.
It is a part of something bigger.
With that, Demi ran off screen, and a small cutscene played, showcasing the lab's horrific experiments slowly fading. The sickening green hue turning to a sterile white, and every notion of suffering erased from the scene. Now, it was simply a normal operating room. Back at the menu, I hovered over to the second subordinate and clicked the green button. The soft call of the grasshoppers and cicadas outside bringing with them a sense of wonderment. The idea of staying up far later than you should be as a child to play more video games. Despite the ugliness of some moments, this was everything I'd wanted.
The shunned. A reflection of oneself is never what we want it to be. Oftentimes we look for ways to avoid the flaws we see in the mirror, the ones others see in us. We rationalize them away with excuses, toxic positivity, or sheer ignorance. We equate any flaws of ourselves to bad vibes and refuse to recognize those problems. But our reflection does not go away. Rather, it festers, grows, and permeates through our every waking moment until we can ignore it no longer. Our tulpa will one day come for us all, threatening to engulf all that is good within us because we didn't take the time to sit down and address it. We are now at that precipice. Demi's reflection. Difficulty, subjective. Weakness, known. Continue? Yes. No.
That was intense. I assumed this game would profile me, push me on a visual, audio, and physical level, but even the accuracy of its statements was beginning to take its toll. I'd never been good at recognizing a problem until it was too late or required more work than I could put in. It always seemed that I'd start on one issue before getting sidetracked and working on another. A never-ending stream of problems stacking upon themselves like an emotional Jenga. I never knew what piece would bring the whole thing down, so I just left it. Maybe now was a good time to try to address the proverbial elephant in the room before it started trampling over everything. Why?
You may be
Demi shook his
wondering
head,
what
and the
city
glint of his eye
is
flashed a
this.
brilliant orange for a moment.
Well, let
once
me
again
tell you.
dashing off screen.
Project.
When he reappeared,
It was Valley City. Press play.
it was a familiar home. The furniture was different, and the wallpaper wasn't the same pattern, but I knew somehow that I'd been there. That it was my childhood home. I can't tell you how jarring it is to see something in a game you've never played that resembles something so close to your own environment. Even more so when you can't fully picture the home you grew up in, but you know in your heart that this was it. Sure,